Hey y'all. So I'm still in the middle of my medical leave from work, and I got to thinking, I've been alluding to the fact that I've been doing some things to help with decreasing, especially like my joint pain issues. And I've never really talked about it on the channel. So for those who don't know, post-COVID, I had some pretty significant joint issues, mostly in my left hand and my left foot. The stuff in my left hand, actually, like a few weeks ago, I was not able to do this. My fingers would not meet, and it looked like I was fighting for my life trying to get them to do so. I did do that in front of a neurologist that I was seeing, and she was totally tweaked, and actually scheduled a bunch of tests to try to figure out what was going on with the nerves in my hand. But before that could get scheduled and I could actually do it, two things happened. Number one, I ended up going south. So I went to Louisiana and Texas, spent time with my family. And number two, whatever collection of things I've been doing, whatever it is like that worked, I'm able to do this now. So I don't need to have that particular test. Now, one of the things I did notice is that when I stopped doing these things, especially when I was down south, the pain kind of came back. I was still able to do this, but the pain started to come back. So I think that's probably some inflammation, just based on the things that I haven't been doing that I started doing once I got back to Colorado. So with that, I wanted to share 5 things that I've been doing that I think have been beneficial in helping to heal my body from long COVID joint pain. Now, with that being said, I am not a medical doctor. This is not medical advice. I am just sharing my experience based on research and things that I've done that seem to be working. Doesn't mean that they'll be working 6 months from now, but for right now, they're working. So with that, let's get into it. So the first thing that I'm going to blame my improvement on is going to be food. I think that making changes to my diet has really helped with decreasing inflammation and just helping me to feel better so that I'm able to do some of the other things that I know I need to do in order to continue this journey of healing. For me personally, doesn't work for everybody, but removing gluten from my diet or decreasing it significantly is something that has been beneficial in the past, and I definitely feel like it is beneficial this time around. Now, caveat, when I was down south in Louisiana and Texas, I acted a straight up fool. So I was eating all kinds of stuff that I knew that I wasn't supposed to, but for me it's really difficult because I feel like I'm only down there for a limited period of time and I can just eat the things. And then when I come back to Colorado, I can get back on eating gluten-free, eating like I know that I'm supposed to. So while I was down there, I definitely felt all the things. On top of the stress, like I know that just eating poorly was something that did not contribute to my feeling great when I got back. So something I'm working on, transparency there. But since I've been back, I have been able to eliminate gluten from my diet, and I can already tell that my body's responding. The other thing that I try to do is to decrease the amount of sugar, especially processed sugar, that I eat. So while I was down south, I was hitting the gummy bears real hard. And granted, I was eating the kind that was made from like tapioca syrup and not corn syrup and other things like that, but still, I was hitting them hard. But since being back, I've tried to mostly get sweets from fruit and things like that. There have been a couple times where things that I've missed, I did eat those things, but it wasn't like an everyday thing since I've been back. Whereas down south, it was like every day. I was trying to find something. Stress eating. Anyway, so decreasing sugar, including in my beverages. I love chai, and I've tried to find alternate sources of sweeteners. So I've been using agave syrup and erythritol. Anyway, I'll put that somewhere so y'all know what I'm talking about and things like that in order to just not be consuming the processed sugar that is so in everything. The third thing that I've been focusing on as far as food goes is I've been wanting to and kind of have dipped my toes in the Mediterranean diet. There's just a lot of research out there talking about how it's really great for brain health and for joints and all of the things. So I've been eating a lot of fish, a lot of fresh vegetables, olive oil, and just trying to make sure that the things that I'm eating are on a list of foods that are beneficial to my body. So I still eat the white potatoes, but I will put the sweet potatoes in there too. Just trying to make better choices all around as far as food is concerned, I think has really helped. The second thing that I think has contributed to just me continuing on this path of healing as far as like joint pain and things like that is concerned is making sure that I stay hydrated. I live at a high elevation, and people here, we carry water bottles everywhere we go. So I try to drink at least 3 of these, and usually it's just plain water. I don't actually put any kind of hydration powders or anything in it, unless I'm going hiking, which is when I definitely need to have some sort of electrolytes or maybe like a little bit of added sugar, just to make sure that I don't pass out on the trail, because that has happened before when I've tried hiking with just water. It's great. But for the most part, I tend to drink either tea or water, and then whenever I'm hiking or just get tired of water, I'll add, some sort of electrolyte powder or something like that to it. The other thing that I do drink is LaCroix. I am one of those people that likes the unsweetened fizzy water. So that's something that I do. I try not to do it too often. So I'll have like one a couple times, 3 times a week or so, just because it's something different, something to shake it up. But I think that hydration is important, and one of the reasons that I've been able to decrease my joint pain. So with that, number 3. I feel like this one could be a little controversial. For me, 30 minutes of gentle exercise, I feel, has been really beneficial for my body. Not only does it help like with conditioning, but it also, I think, helps with blood flow, and I just feel good after I do it. I try to make sure that I'm pacing myself. I don't walk fast. I don't do crazy stuff. I'm not like climbing mountains like I used to, but I'm doing like 30 minutes of either walks in my neighborhood or finding the nearest trail and just getting on it, just to be outside and breathe fresh air and take in some sunshine. The other thing that I do is yoga, which is something for a whole other video. But lots of really good gentle stretching and breathing, focusing on breath work and things like that, I think has really been beneficial as well. Depends on how you feel about supplements. For me personally, I take quite a few just because I feel like they are beneficial to my body. Try to get most of my nutrients from food, but sometimes food falls short, or I fall short with food. So with that being said, I've found that magnesium and increasing my intake of it was the thing that when I started doing that, that's when I noticed the changes in my hands especially. Now, I'm not saying that correlation equals causation. Could be all the things working together. It could just be time. But for me personally, I feel like the magnesium has helped. And I think I've mentioned before that I was taking the Cal Mag Zinc kind of combo. And once that was finished, I started taking just magnesium. But a friend of mine turned me on to this calcium, magnesium, potassium supplement, which I think is going to be great because one of the things that I do have often is like just cramps in my legs and in my feet. So I'm hoping that the additional potassium that I'm not getting from food probably will be beneficial for those things. The other thing that I do take is Calm, which I've discussed before as something that helps with relaxing me before I go to sleep. And then this magnesium serene, I think is what it's called, that I also sometimes will take before I go to sleep, just to help my body relax, to de-stress, and so I can get a good night's sleep, which is something that I've really struggled with since being back in Colorado. So I don't take all of these things at the same time. That's something to definitely mention. I take the calcium, magnesium, potassium supplement with all of my other vitamins. And then I would say probably 2 to 3 times a week, for if I'm like really struggling with sleep, I'll do either the Calm or the magnesium serene supplement. So the last thing that I would say has been beneficial in helping to decrease my joint pain and help my fingers figure out their lives is that I don't sit at a computer typing all day anymore. For the last 7 weeks, 8 weeks, I have no idea where I am in the midst of all of that. I think it's 7. I have not been in front of a computer all day, 8 hours a day, sitting at a desk typing, which is what I have to do for work. And what that means for the future, I do not know. I can't think of a job that falls within all of the experience and education that I have that doesn't involve sitting in front of a computer. Yeah, so that should be fun in the future. But I think it's something that's definitely helped, and maybe that means that I need to be more diligent about taking breaks when I am at work, and massaging my hands, doing other things. So if you have any suggestions on that, I would love to hear it. Yeah, I would really love to hear it because I don't understand how that's going to work. But yeah, I think that has been beneficial, really helpful, and I highly recommend. So with that, I just want to say thank you for watching. I am grateful for those of you who made it all the way to the end. I hope that this has been beneficial to you. If it has, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing, and then hitting that notification bell so that you get word about other videos that I post. As always, ending with gratitude. Number one, I'm going to say the weather. It's been amazing. Been able to get out and go on walks and just meet up with friends outside and all of those good things. Number two is that despite having to make changes to my diet, there's still a lot of good food out there that I can enjoy. So grateful for that. And then number three, I would say, is the future. I feel like there are some really good things that are in store around the corner for me, and I'm excited about what the future holds. So with that, I'll say I hope you have a great rest of your day or evening or whatever time of day it is for you, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video.